As South Africans move to lockdown level 1, the country's borders are expected to open up for international tourists. Various destinations have been hard hit by COVID-19 lockdown regulations, as we all know. But for now, let's catch up with our reporter, Mbali Thethani, who this morning boarded a flight to Durban to bring us the experience of traveling domestically during the pandemic. And she speaks as well to the province's tourism department on what they're expecting this summer. Mbali, lovely to be chatting with you there. But I tell you what, you are decked in your Newsroom Africa jacket, and it does not look like the sun is shining. How is Durban this afternoon?
Well, Tammy, I am coming to you from a very chilly and cloudy Durban. It is also known as the warmest place to be, but I must tell you right now, it is not the warmest place. As you can see, I am wearing this very thick newsroom jacket because it is quite windy where I am right now. But we continue to tell the story of traveling. It is a travel month, and we continue to highlight now that there is that easing of the lockdown regulations, and we are also anticipating more tourists and international tourists to begin to flock to places like Durban, especially more so over the summer period. But just to give us more insight in terms of what this province and this city plans to do when we see more tourists coming in to the city, we are joined by Ndabe. He is, of course, the spokesperson of the tourism department here in Durban. I just want to find out from you, Ndabe, when it comes to issues around the lockdown regulations, we can see, you can visibly see here that there's literally not much activity. How has COVID-19 impacted the tourism industry?
Well, thank you very much. Good afternoon to you. Good afternoon to the viewers at home. Well, I think over the past 4 months, the MEC for Economic Development, Tourism and Environmental Affairs, Nomsa Tubengube, has had meetings with stakeholders in the tourism industry, just analyzing the impact of the lockdown on the tourism industry. But what is good is that through our entities, through the KZN investment agency that is under the Department of Economic Development, KZN Tourism and Investment Agency, we've been able to assist about 607 establishments, the entrepreneurs that are involved in the tourism industry. We're able to assist them to apply for the funding at national level, the Tourism National Fund. And I think we've also been able to assist the tourist guides, and I think about 305 tourist guides that have been assisted through the assistance of the TK KwaZulu-Natal. What is important is that the MEC Nomsa Tubengube is emphasizing the importance of working together, all stakeholders in the tourism industry to work together. Last week, she had a meeting with the mayors across the province, to plan, for the next few months to ensure that, when tourists come into the province of KwaZulu-Natal, they are able to enjoy, the tourism facilities that are located at tourism, at local level. Those are the plans that, the MEC has put in place.
And in terms of preparations, I hear that there are plans. How are you preparing to see this huge influx of people? We know that those countries have not been announced yet by government, but we are expecting the borders to open come the 1st of October. So how are you preparing for those tourists, those international tourists who will be coming to Durban?
Well, a couple of months ago, the MEC for Economic Development, Nomsa Tubengube, in her capacity as the leader of government business, she joined the Premier of the province of KwaZulu-Natal, Sihle Zikalala, and the Executive Council. They visited the King Shaka International Airport just to assess, compliance with the health regulations as outlined by the Department of Health. I think last week the MEC indicated that she's satisfied with the compliance, especially the stakeholders, the hospitality industry. They are complying with all the regulations that have been put in place. And again, our agency, Mbali Wildlife, we've got about 114 protected areas, under Mbali Wildlife, our agency, and we've got about 42 facilities that accommodate 6,500, people. Before the lockdown, we hosted more than 9,000 tourists from Germany. We also hosted more than 8,500 tourists from Belgium. And the entity as Mbali Wildlife and many more other facilities in the province of KwaZulu-Natal are gearing themselves up for, the influx of tourists. And we are receiving, bookings, we are receiving calls from quite a number of people across the province, across the country, indicating that they want to come to KwaZulu-Natal to sample the warmth, and the smiles of the people of this province.
And if local South Africans want to come and visit, or be it people from neighboring countries, especially in our continent, what can they look forward to?
Well, for the hikers, we've got the Drakensberg Mountains. The MEC Nomsa Dube is going there tomorrow. What is also important is that, she'll be focusing on other sectors of the economy, visiting a wine estate, because what she's saying is that some of the workers that have been retrenched in other sectors of the economy, they need to be absorbed. Agriculture is one of the the sectors that is doing pretty well. That is why she's visiting the wine estate that is funded by the department. In addition, as you can see, we've got the longest coastline in KwaZulu-Natal. Our entity, the KZN Sharks Board, is responsible for ensuring the safety of our swimmers. They are deploying the latest technology around the sharks safety net, to ensure the safety of our swimmers. There's correlation between tourism and the safety of our swimmers. 98% of our visitors, of our tourists into the province of KwaZulu-Natal, they come to the beaches. That is why our entity KZN KZN Sharks Board is working extremely hard to ensure the safety of our swimmers. And also the meeting that the MEC had last week with the mayors, the most important thing was to ensure that the resources are deployed. When you go to any part of the province, there has to be adequate access to energy, adequate access to water, because tourism facilities are located at local level. That is why the focus is on deploying the resources at local level, because when you come to the province of KwaZulu-Natal, you go to local municipalities.
Ndabe, another thing which I've spotted, especially just walking around here on the promenade, is that a number of hotels are still closed. When can we begin to see these hotels opening up for business?
This week, the MEC Nomsa Dube is planning to visit some of the hotels along the beach. And we are excited that over the next few weeks, we'll be opening, Umhlanga Arc, an investment of 1.3 billion. Despite the challenges that we've experienced over the past few months, we are seeing quite a number of investors coming to the province of KwaZulu-Natal. They come here, to enjoy the warmth of the people of KwaZulu-Natal. At the very same time, they make investment decisions. That is why there is that ongoing interaction involving the MEC and quite a number of stakeholders. We've got the KZN Economic Council, where you have the organized labor, we have big business, we've got a non-governmental organization speaking with one voice on how to implement the KZN Reconstruction and Transformation Plan, which was approved by Cabinet last week. And the MEC is championing that plan, working with sectors of society, ensuring that we are able to resuscitate all sectors of the economy to ensure that over the next few months, the people that have been retrenched are absorbed by different sectors of the economy.
Thank you very much. That is, of course, Ndabe. He is the KZN tourism spokesperson, just giving us a bit of insight in terms of how this province plans to resuscitate its tourism industry and looking at specifically the economy. He did also say that there are now plans to begin to open up the various hotels in Durban to begin to allow for more tourists to come in. And we do know that this happens at a time where on October 1st, the country will reopen its borders. But we do know that the president has cautioned, saying that we should not treat it as if the coronavirus has really been flattened. But we have also seen that in other various countries, especially in European countries, they are beginning to see a second wave of the coronavirus.
Certainly, Mbali. Thank you so much for that update. Hopefully the weather in Durban will slightly improve as the afternoon progresses. That's Mbali Thethani, who's covering travel for us this afternoon, and she's out in Durban today.